Shalom, Kal Halal, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Recha Kodash. Double honor to the elder apostles, double honor to the elder bishops and the elders of the Great Millstone GMS, who rule and teach Yasha Allah through the Spirit, leading the flock by example. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Abaratazar, Father willing. This lesson is edifying. So, over the past, few months, there's been an increase in cyber attacks. Recently, a large farmer-owned dairy company called Arla Foods, right, that has operations within, several European countries, including the UK. They suffered a cyber attack. As a result of that cyber attack, they had delays in deliveries, in getting their, milk products, to the stores and stuff like that. Okay, and here, all right, you had a cyber attack that struck Iran's bank. All right, okay. There's various different articles. I just screenshotted this as I typed it into, news section of Google. All right, we got from Reuters, suspected Israeli hackers claim to destroy data. All right, cyber attack targets Iran's Sepah Bank, disrupting. That's from the Jerusalem Post. This is recent, some articles one day ago, so many hours ago. All right, etc. Okay. So, this is the time that we're in. Okay. So these cyber attacks are very serious. It can cause, mayhem. It can cause many problems, major problems, and it's damaging as well. Okay. All right. So imagine the people not being able to access their funds, access their money, access ATMs. All right. This is the times that we're in. All right. And plus, as a result of that, all right, with this ongoing war, okay, you can anticipate another possible cyber attack that, that they could even engineer, all right, a false flag. That's what they could do, all right, or many different things that they can, bring forward, all right, to not having anything in your bank account at all whatsoever, all right. See? So again, this is where we're heading, all right. Or your bank app being empty. Okay, new procedures, new measures that could put in place. All right. To access, new security and things like that to access your bank account and prove who you really are. All right. They could require people to take the digital all. All right. That could be a step that push forward in order to, basically access your account. All right. You got to, think outside the box and think these things could happen. All right. Think ahead. All right. You see? So, yeah, these are ways and possibilities that they could usher in this technology to cause people to take that CHIP as well. All right. They want you to surrender the liberty that you believed you had or have. Right. You've got people who thought that the crypto world was a safe haven where you had, protection over your funds and private banking and things like that. And that's a lie. Okay. Because all you have to do is pull the plug. All right. Once they pull the plug, then you no longer see those digits on the screen. All right. And you lose access to your funds like that. You see? Bloomberg, Iran-Israel conflict spills the digital world. All right. Pro JJ hackers claim breach of Iranian so-and-so. All right. You see? But majority of these people out here, the average person doesn't truly understand what real wealth is. All right. This is the book of Genesis chapter 13, start verse 1. And Abram went up out of Egypt, he and his wife and all that he had, and Lot with him into the south. Here's the point, verse 2. And Abram was very rich in cattle, in silver, and in gold. Okay. So real money is gold, silver, land, cattle, tangible things. Right? Things that are actually physical things that you can get hold of. All right. Not paper money, not Federal Reserve notes. Okay. Real wealth is precious metals. You see, that's why it's imperative to have that mindset to detach from a collapsing society. All right. That's currently run under evil E, the red Hebrew E. All right. Let go of the fashion of this world because it's fading away. All right. Proverbs chapter 23, verse 4. Labor not to be rich. Cease from thine own wisdom. See, we don't chase, the bag. We don't chase all the, the glitz and glamour and all the riches of this world. Now, if you have a little something, something cool, right? Yahweh Hashem shall bless you with that. But our mindset is not to chase that. Verse 5, and this is why. Wilt thou set thine eyes upon that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away as an eagle toward heaven. You see? So it's only temporary. Right? You got people who sell the soul for money. Right? You got people who would go all out and do any sort of wickedness to not only degrade themselves, but to just get all the money that they'd like. You see? All right? Sell the soul and all sorts. So he and his queendom is going down. All right? So, don't have that mentality of trying to be secure in this kingdom. All right? Because it's about to be destroyed. All right? Why hold on to something that's failing and falling? And you can see it falling. It's evident. All right? Okay? Because if you think about it, if you go ahead and put all your effort into gaining this world, you know what the scripture says. All right? What if a man gain the whole world and lose his soul? All right? You put all that effort into that, you're going to lose everything. Matthew chapter 6 verse 19, the words of Yahushua, it's in red and it reads, Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. That's right. So if your mentality is all about getting the bag here, well, that's where your heart will be. Okay? Getting the spiritual riches, man. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures. That's what's imperative. Okay? No one can destroy that. All right? People can break through and steal your goods, that you have laid up in your basement or whatever, right? Wherever you have it. Okay? And not just that. That stuff corrupts anyway. All right? Things will rust away. Things will, eventually break. They ain't going to last forever. Might last a long time, but not forever. Okay? So why do that? All right? Remember, man can just break down something and steal it. You might have gone through all that effort of obtaining such and such. All right? And you might not even get to use it. And then someone just comes and takes it. You see? So, yeah. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. And, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. And with that, let's say Shalom. Kal halal Yahabashim Yashai Bashim Kakudash. In closing, Wa Mawath Lababal.